It's time for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Hey, Loco sports fans, we got the whole gang here, plus our new, seems like fourth wheel, Marcus Walsh. You're making this a regular thing. You just keep showing up.
Absolutely.
We never turn you away, sir. So welcome again to the Loco Sports Lowdown Tuesday night edition. It's been a long week, and it's only Tuesday. And it's been a long night of high school basketball that is
We're not done yet.
Going on. We've got right here in our green room, fourth quarter action from Bridges.
Wow.
What a crazy game. I mean, 61 apiece into the fourth, back and forth thriller in what we thought would be a fun region, and it's living up to all the hype so far. The Buccaneers and the Warriors knotted up.
Indeed. And I will give us a little bit of volume for the background without trying to make it too distracting. But we'll definitely keep tabs on this thing as it progresses along, and we tell you about what else is going on in the Loco. I know, Max, you and Marcus both had the opportunity to attend the memorial service for our friend Tim Alonzo this morning in the Mass. I wasn't able to. I was at school, but Max and I both were able to get over to Cypress Ridge, Mill Creek tonight, and for the celebration of life, and that was beautiful. It was really awesome to see all the people who came out and smiling faces and people having a good time and remembering the person that brought us all together. And, I felt humbled. I was paraded around like a celebrity to meet family members, and I was like, oh, I'm not worthy of all this, but that's just the people that they are. And I know everything about certain school's wrestling program in New York now, thanks to Andrea's brother-in-law, Aunt Allie's husband. So they're just awesome people, and it was uplifting to be around other people who loved Tim today.
To go to that point, certainly, but talk more in the context of the Mass that was this morning that I was at, along with Max, and I actually didn't see him till Sam and I were about out of the sanctuary. But it was good to see Max for sure. I learned a lot about Tim, of course, that I didn't know just with Andrea's eulogy, which was beautifully done.
Yeah.
And you were talking, JJ, about how much that Tim reminded you of you in talking to Ray and Andrea the other night. I felt the same way, in possibly in some different ways, but I felt the same way hearing Andrea give that eulogy. And then obviously the Mass went on, and it was, for me, certainly as a parishioner of St. Gregory the Great, and I know Father Raphael very well, this was definitely different. I have attended a lot of Catholic funerals, but this was my first at my own parish down here, and certainly a different situation. It felt different in a very unique way, and to hear the beautiful message of creation and what it is all about from Father Raphael in his homily today, it was tremendous. I mean, he always gives outstanding homilies. I'll probably hear another one on Sunday, for sure, because he typically does the 9 o'clock mass on Sunday, the second week of the month. And he's so good that he's going to be the guy that I have marry Sam and I. Whenever we decide to get married, he's the guy. He's just absolutely terrific, and he knows that, by the way. You
didn't just break news.
So no breaking news. He knows that he's going to be the celebrant for our wedding. He is just such a great guy, and has a great sense of humor and a beam of light, and just knows how to address everything. He's truly remarkable, and to hear his message and to be a part of that. And then as well, getting back to the family, of course, I saw Andrea and Ray,
Mm-hmm.
as we were walking out. And Andrea pretty much told me exactly what you had said,
Mm-hmm.
JJ, about what they told you,
Yeah,
um,
he was awestruck
specifically about me.
to work with Marcus Walsh. He's from
And
WHA.
that meant a lot. And I went up to Ray and I certainly thanked him and gave both of them my condolences, but had a minute with Ray as well, because as I mentioned yesterday, Ray and I
Right.
shared some conversations with certainly the fact of my growing up in, whether you want to call it learning disabled and special ed classes, and just the connection that we have with what he does at Battery Creek. Phenomenal work. And certainly with him being the father of four amazing kids, they all got up and did an amazing job. And it was truly beautiful. And again, just the fact that I got to know Tim for even the short time that
Yep.
I got to know him, and especially to learn about him, the last couple of days, learn a lot more about him than I ever knew.
Yep.
And not to make it all about me, but again, to preface what we were talking about yesterday, that we all have our own stuff that we're dealing with.
Yep.
And it actually helped me realize, especially with how young he was. And that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing. I knew he was young. I did not know he was that young.
Yeah.
I knew that obviously he was in college, but Father Raphael mentioned how old he was. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean,
so
just
I
graduated
had
from high
some
school in 2021.
things that I had to, sort through, and possibly some more things that I still have to sort through with people that I love. And it's just another reminder, no matter what you believe, whether you're a diehard devout Catholic like myself or not, it doesn't matter. You just have to take the time to say to the people that you love them that you do, and take
Absolutely.
care of your business, because you really don't know. You think you do, but you really
Nope.
don't.
You
And
really don't.
so it
I
was. And I went through some other stuff today. I actually had my dad pick me up at JP2 after the game ended, after the guys' game ended. Um, got some other stuff going on that I couldn't get home via Uber, and I just kind of sat down and took a deep breath, and I told my dad, I said, all in all, today was a pretty good day.
Yeah.
Yesterday started off as a great day for me. It went south in a hurry, but again, not to make it all about me, but today was a pretty good day. And
Yep.
my dad said I would have to agree. And again, rest in peace, Tim. We will always keep you close, buddy.
Yes, sir. And
Thank
more
you.
to come. More to come on how we will formally do that. I'm obviously giving Ray and Andrea all the time they need, although they seem very eager to get going on something. So we'll be talking very soon about what exactly they envision and how we can bring it to life. But yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been a long week, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
But today was a good day. Had a good day at school. Had a good wrestling practice. Got to go, see Tim's family and friends, and then got to go check out some basketball. I raced over after the gathering to May River because I saw the girls' game was really competitive over there. Colleton taking the win by 4, and the boys' game was, getting toward halftime by the time I got out of there. So I ran over there, and it was compelling enough to keep me there the rest of the way. May River coming away with a 2-point win, really scrappy game, physical, called pretty loose. They let them play. May River, they thrive on getting the ball to the rack and getting their guys to the line a lot, and they just weren't getting those calls. Tonight they're drawing contact and not getting calls, so that makes it tough. Not poor officiating; it's just just the way the game was called.
Yeah.
And so it was competitive. It didn't take anything away from what I expect this region to be. Although
especially the guys, they're going to be dogfights. Although the one I went to was a beatdown. It was a
man,
beatdown.
was it ever? Oh,
oh my! It was at halftime, 49-8, 49-8, Bluffton over Buford.
How many touchdown passes did Aiden McCarthy have in the first half?
right.
How could they let that 2-point conversion go through?
For sure.
Ain't that the truth? My goodness.
It's weird that Buford went for 2.
Yeah, right.
Well, they
never does that.
They wanted to make a statement, so they went for 2 and they got it. And
Speaking of
them, and it got a little tighter in there in the second half. Final score 69-31 in favor of the Bobcats. So a heck of an opening statement for Bluffton in this region. And I mean, I still think most nights are going to be a scrap, but that just shows how good and how talented this Bluffton team is, and how they stood up and stood tall on defense as well. In addition to their prolific offensive attack with Harry Skinner, Jamari Stewart Manning catching fire as well early from deep, and it was all Bobcats at the den to kick off region play, and not too surprising. I did expect it to be a little tighter. I thought we'd see a little bit more from Buford, but great for the Bobcats for how they came out there, and they're certainly looking the part of a region title contender. Sure, other teams will have to say in that. I expected maybe a little tighter game on Friday against Hilton Head in the Seahawks home opener, but who got beat by Bishop England today? But the Seahawks kept it close with a 10-point ball game. So good scrappy fight from Hilton Head. Bishop England, just like they were in football, they're going to have a say in things in basketball.
I mean, the girls look like the class. Although, I think Buford's girls are pretty good.
That was a nice win.
Surprised by Colleton getting May River tonight.
That was the shocker of the night in Region 6-4A.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't really see that coming. We still got a good one here, boys. 4-point lead for Bridges after a 3 by Marion Wilson. Inside 2 minutes in regulation, but Whale Branch with the ball. Ooh,
bad.
Got some time.
It looked like Whale Branch was going to win this game.
Oh, we got 2 points. Actually, no, Bridges Prep is up by 6 now. All of a sudden,
yeah. Bridges is taking charge. Neighbor wants a TO, baby.
I tell you, who took charge and who took charge in a big way with a huge win for the John Paul II Golden Warrior guys in a 76-64 win where Garrett Heathcott, Nikolai Atkinson, and Daniel Godson, those guys, all 3 of them were making shots left and right. Garrett Heathcott had a 4-point play where he just nailed the 3-pointer.
I got some stats for you, Marcus.
And man, Daniel Godson with a huge 3-point bucket right as the half expired. And then, like I said, Atkinson with a big game himself. Wilson Hall really tried to come back.
Stats for you, Mark.
Okay.
Heathcott had a career high 27, 4 of 4 from 3. 16 for Atkinson, 12 from Godson.
Yeah.
And, all 10 players that saw the court contributed.
Dalen as well did. It seemed like whenever Wilson Hall was trying to come back and get it close, they got within 10 a couple of times, 10, 12 points. JP2 just put the hammer down, and they were able to get it done. I mean, it was 15-12 at the end of 1 at halftime. The huge advantage for JP2, and then they hung on. They were up like 59-46 at the end of 3, and then they hang on to the 76-64 win, and they looked really impressive. They're going to be great, and I can't wait to see them and call the game against HHCA here in about a week and a half. That's going to be a lot of fun, or a couple of weeks now. And then with the girls, I actually got there late. I got there in the second half. I thought the game started at 6. It started at 5. Lauren Majorkowitz with 3 points. Aliniana Heathcott with 6 points. Savannah Trott played great, on the ball and off the ball in the second half. And Termini with 6 points as well, and a
I
huge
got some
61-26 win for the JP2 girls. So they
I
continue
got
to
some
play well.
game totals for you. Majorkowicz with 15 points, 4 assists, and 6 boards. Termini, 13 points, 5 assists, 8 boards, 5 steals. Ellie Heathcott, 10. Savannah Trot, 8.
And it wasn't on Wilson.
That is great.
Nice
Team
balance.
basketball. And I really wondered with the girls in the second half that I saw how they would do with some injuries going back and forth, but they're still definitely a factor, and they're going to be good.
Yeah, they look strong. Guys look strong too. I mean, that region's going to be a grind, but this was a really good start. What do we got?
Lane violation
Lane
on Arroyo.
violation.
So Broxton again can shoot that free throw again.
Wow, don't see that every day.
No, you don't.
4-point game inside the final minute. That's a big free throw too. He makes it. He wants to time out if he makes it.
Sinks it.
Yep.
Big.
Faber wants a timeout. 3-point game. I mean, if there's anybody who can draw you something up to get a turnover, right here, it's Jeremiah Faber. That's his specialty. 84 feet of hell.
Timeout called by the assistant there.
That was important making that free throw because that allows you to set up the press.
Call a timeout in a certain situation.
Oh, there's Too Tall. Too Tall. Curly. Couple of my favorites. I love Too Tall. I told him I call him Too Tall. I don't think I'm the only one. It's a pretty natural nickname for him.
Yeah.
He's too damn tall. And he looks like Too Tall Jones. I'm the only one old enough to remember Too Tall Jones, but he was my favorite player when I was a very young child. Too Tall Jones for the Cowboys.
There you go.
I mean, how could he not be your favorite? Well, Tony Dorsett was my favorite, but Too Tall was my favorite defense.
Tony Dorsett, what a baller. Whew.
That was my guy when I was a little bitty kid.
I'm too young to see him live, but I've seen a lot of film.
Back here on Buford's own. Ball is batted out by Field.
He was the man.
So
but then he went to the Broncos, so I had to hate him.
Yeah.
Because I was Chiefs and I was Cowboys because of Tony Dorsett.
We were talking a little bit during the quick timeout break. A 3-point ball game almost at 80 here in a high school game by both teams, and it's not a blowout.
Randy White.
The game this has been.
It's been a good one. Oh, they play again.
Turnover. Will Rich.
Play again in the brook.
Or a foul call.
What we got?
You want to talk about a nice find right there by QJ Young. Almost got the ball ripped and then almost lost the handle. Finds a way on the ground. Look like a little bit of and one move there. Finds the pass.
3-point game, 41 seconds. Bridges will still do some goofy stuff from time to time. Let's see.
Yeah.
Strange things can happen in 41 seconds of high school basketball.
And we'll be right back here on
Speaking of Buford going for 2, Buford's football offense, they're getting a new QB next year, boys.
Hello.
He's coming from across town. Chase Olson checking in. He announced on Twitter today that he will be a Buford Eagle for his senior year. Even had a little photo of himself in a Buford Eagles uniform when he was a very young fella. So
yeah,
may just have to see.
That's a big
about
move.
Doing a couple of Buford games next year.
That's a big move in the low country.
Obviously, this year did not go like they expected it to. Samari was banged up for part of the year. They dropped so many passes, but Amari Patterson was out all year. And he was going to be the go-to receiver, and now it's going to make the number 2 guy a lot more dangerous. And so it'll be interesting to see how they come back next year. I think they'll be
almost lost another one there. Nice pass to Evans.
They won't stay that long.
That's what I was saying too. I mean, with the injuries and just with some bad breaks and whatnot, and that can happen to every team, especially with as good as 7-4, formerly 7-4A, now 6-4A is. They'll be back. Yeah, right. They'll be back, knowing that they've got Bryce Lybrand and company at the helm. they'll be back and they'll be in the mix. I have no doubt.
Yeah,
Same. They've been.
That's a big move in our low country transfer portal.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So Royal heads
You know, I mean, it's a reality.
the most deadly free throw shooter on this Bridges team.
You want to put yourself in the best situation you can put yourself in, and if you can do it within the rules, then do it. And that's, that's all there is to it for me.
Yeah,
I'm kids first. I'm an advocate for the kids. If they're in a situation that's not great for them, then they should be able to get into a different situation.
right.
Obviously, we don't want athletics to dictate all of our decisions, but all things being equal, if the schools are the same, but the athletic situation is better somewhere else, why not? Why wouldn't they be able to go where it was better for them?
5-point ball game.
Absolutely.
The only reason is because adults' egos get hurt because they wanted them to play for them. Is really what it comes down to, or they wanted them to play in their laundry. You know what I mean? And it does suck. It sucks when you invest in a kid and they go somewhere else.
Hopefully
That's
you
part
took
of the
the
deal.
over. Hopefully you took the over in this one, 80-75.
Right.
And this is regulation. It's not even
Goodness.
overtime. It's like a college. This is a college basketball score. A pretty high scoring college basketball score at that.
It's funny because these teams might play in the 40s the next time. You know, you never know. A lot of it has to do with how the game's called and how much they let them get going. You know, but it's been fun. It's been fun. This is how I'd prefer them to play. I like it when they play chaotic basketball.
Yeah. I remember, and this actually doesn't surprise me at all because I've called a couple of these matchups the last few years. I was thinking we might get this matchup this year on our WHHI schedule, and this is the way they play. They're run and gun and score as quickly as you can. A lot of points. I love it.
Is going to do it.
Yeah, that pretty much is it right there. They needed at least 2 possessions.
Yeah, nobody had
still
over
14.9 seconds to go, but they're going to have to foul somebody.
The Libs is the Chase fan. We're all Chase fans. Chase is great.
They're going to get it to their free throw shooter. Poked out. Fields with the
layup.
Gets it in.
Not over yet.
Royal now. They have to foul. Gets it to Wilson.
Now they're going to run out of time.
And that will
wow.
Take it.
How about that?
The Bucks come back from foul trouble to win it in the first
Heck of a ball game.
of the
My
season.
goodness.
Well,
that's a monster. That's the monster win for Bridges Prep. A team that has been really fighting to start the year. That is a much needed victory for the Bucks.
You really need to win the ones at home. You know,
that's so important. If anyone
making the open layups, they finally started making the layups.
Big win for.
And is that's not their new basketball venue, is it? Or is
that's
it
the new gym? Yeah,
that's the new one. Okay.
Yeah, with the big scoreboards, with the
huge,
all the players up there and everything. It's cool. Super cool. But
I guess that's right. I was getting that confused whether that was happening this year or next year, but I do remember Jeremy Pope telling me that if we would have gone there, they had the new gym and whatnot. But boy, to broadcast from the Caffeinasium a couple of years ago was pretty dang awesome.
It was bananas in there for some of those big games. It was the fire marshal would not have been pleased.
No, it's true.
It was a little wild. Let's see what else we got. We got a few scores. We don't have all of them, but we got quite a few of them. We've talked about some of them. They're scrolling across your screen. On the girls' side, Buford beating Bluffton 50-37. Janai Hayward with 23, 9th grader. 8th grader Dalia Laborde with 11. So good going there from Buford, which I think Buford's going to be pretty tough. Colleton County over May River 37-33. Bishop England blew out Hilton Head 65-29. Hampton County blew out Edisto 66-11. Whale Branch beat Bridges Prep, I think it was 53-39 or something like that. I don't have Hardyville scores, believe it or not. JP2 over Wilson Hall 61-26. That's what I have right now on girls. Boys,
That's correct,
Bluffton 69-31 over Beaufort. May River 39-37 over Colleton. Bishop England 55-45 over Hilton Head. I hadn't seen a Hampton final yet. I was watching a little bit of it on the Facebook. We just saw Whale Branch Bridges go final. What was it? 80-77 or something?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe that's the score.
All right, 80-77. What was that Wilson Hall JP2 final?
The Wilson Hall JP2 final for the guys was 76-64 JP2.
76-64. All right. We got that one. I just saw one pop in. Cross girls beat Holy Trinity 64-23. Sydney Hollings with 19 points, made 5 threes. Ryan Mayers with 18. So cross girls roll. 64-23. And I suspect we'll see a boys score as well. Haven't seen college prep scores yet. Haven't seen Hilton Head Christian scores yet. Have you seen those?
I'm looking for those right now. I have not found anything just yet.
Right. So we're still missing a few, but there's a few. We should shout out some sponsors. We got LowcoSports. LowcoSports sponsors. Our OG sponsor, our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, presenting the LowcoSports Lowdown. And then we've got our MVP sponsors, Base Hit Life, with your best baseball and softball styles, basehitlife.com. Homegrown home inspections. Have them check on it every step of the way with homegrown home inspections. Hospice Care of the Low Country, now part of Mirasol Health, with compassionate care for life's most challenging moments. And the USCB Center for Low Country Hospitality Education, with all kinds of great programs supporting the Loco right on Hilton Head Island. So, yeah, tell us more, boys. What you want to talk about? Where should we go? I'm toast.
I got some highlights for you if you can.
I'm trying to get them. They're not coming through right. I was trying to send via iCloud, and it says it's still uploading. Cross Boys 57-24 over Holy Trinity.
Oh, nice guy.
Fulda with 21. Zach Nicastro with 16. I do have some highlights from the May River game, though. May River College.
Go for it.
Please.
Here we go. We're picking it up right at the start of the second half. May River took a, what I say, 5-point lead to halftime, I believe. But there was a lid on this basket from May River in the second half. Man. They had a tough time getting shots to drop. There's one. AJ Ford put them up 8. And then Colleton went on a little 8-0 run to tie it up. Vivian Varner had some big buckets.
He's a baller.
You know who that is, number 12. I got to look up who these guys are. Colleton impressed me.
Yeah, both the guys and the girls really scrapped points. I know the girls can win this one. I mean, Colleton gave them a heck of a fight. And this was a May River team we had pretty high in our rankings, and I thought pretty high of hitting this game. But Colleton, really scrappy group, and showed a lot of fight on the road.
There's Varner, number 0. He's tough.
Man, what a guy. We've had him on the show before. What an amazing guy he is.
Good kid.
Yep. Really fantastic kid.
Colleton really played tough D during this run in the second half. And like I said, May River just couldn't buy one for a little while there. Will Bostwick, though, going to come to save the day here.
Great player.
Man, he came up huge tonight. But I like this number 4, Robert Parks. He's a senior, unfortunately, but he's tough. We saw Martin with the bucket earlier, number 12.
I again mentioned that I saw Gage Duncan, Will Bostwick, and Tanner Macy before football season even started.
Yeah,
I saw them in the gym when I interviewed Kyle Bennett for the WHHI TV Daily News. And those 3 guys definitely grew. We saw it a lot with Duncan and Macy on the football field. Obviously, Bostwick part of the team as well. And he made some plays additionally. But I'm really excited to see them play some basketball also. And the fact that we'll be getting to May River for a game is going to be big. And again, just to mention Tim, I'll definitely give him give the folks a good acknowledgement of him whenever we get to May River.
Good look. Master gets to the line. I think he made them both. I think that put him back on top. Yeah, it was 25-25. He made them both, put them back on top. And then it was a fight to the finish. I really thought Carleton was going to pull it out for a little while. They got up 4 at one point.
I do plan on seeing Carleton against Bluffton on Saturday, both girls and guys.
Oh, Saturday.
So I'm looking forward to catching that and seeing what Carleton's basketball program's all about. Their football environment was really awesome.
Oh, their basketball
great to be
gym
able to
is
see that.
Their gym is my favorite in the Loco. Maybe
The-
Hardyville, but I think
It's a long trek over
Carleton's the most unique.
The games are in Bluffton though,
Oh, okay.
so I'm heading short drive to the Den.
Their basketball or their football environment is great. Their basketball environment, I think, is even better. I think it's the best.
Oh, I love going to the Den.
Oh no, I'm in at Carleton.
Or,
Their
okay,
gym-
I got you.
their
I love
gym's
them both.
Their
Yeah,
gym's
Yeah,
Bluffton,
maybe I'll get
Bluffton
to
can get
Carleton
hyped
for
as well,
basketball next year.
especially.
Oh yeah, but
especially
Carleton
near-
got the drop down scoreboard and the mural and the stands.
Nice.
In the
I'll tell you what,
end.
Bridges Prep's got a really nice. They have a video
They sure
board. They
do.
have like a college caliber scoreboard with the players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got to come to the Ville. We got the best mural in the world.
Nice.
Max, did you head anywhere after the celebration of life for Tim this afternoon? Ethan?
No, I didn't. I just decided to head home and keep an eye on the Whalebrand Bridges game when we got home. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Carleton up 4 here, going 2-4.
Yeah.
But Willie Boswell gonna come to save the day. Bo Gwynn sighting. Max Van Esselstyn. They were both in the student section. Johnson couldn't get the 3 to go. Yeah, Bo Gwynn, he's wrestling again. He's down to 287.
Love it.
Oh. Off board by Willie. Yeah, Xavier Green is legit. He's legit on the football field too. 33. He had a lot to do with the missed shots around the rim. He really made them alter a lot. Ooh. Charge. I don't know about that one. It's hard to tell under that. Kevin Libby says you sound better, Max. You feeling better?
I do feel better. I'm still trying to get my voice back completely, but I'm definitely getting there. So
gotta hate that lingering.
Hopefully I'll be back on the mic real soon. Potentially for the WHHI game over at home.
There's Will Boswick. That was a huge 3. Pulled him within 1. And then he's going to hit another one in just a bit. Okay, trim some of these clips because I was coming in hot. Didn't have time. I like the way Carleton moves the ball, though.
They're moving it. They move it well.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. Ooh, awesome. Kevin Up, number 1. Love Kevin Up. You're still here, Marcus, as far as I know. I don't see your video, but I see your box. It's dark. I don't know what happened to your camera.
Marcus Walsh.
But I can't fix
get back in commission here. This game was a tight one down the stretch.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Carleton, I felt they've always been that wild card, that scrappy team that will give you a fight no matter
Avion, man.
He's a
baller.
They could potentially be more than that this year, Wes. I mean,
Amari Saunders.
I think they really can. I don't think they're at the level of a Bluffton or a Bishop England, but they're gonna.
No,
they could battle for a third or fourth.
They're gonna make you earn it every time.
And even for a team like Hilton, I mean I think they can give them trouble as well.
I do too. They're long, athletic. They're patient and disciplined on offense for the most part. And if they get to hitting threes,
that's really the key. If they can make their shots, they've had some great cheers over the years, and they just seem to find some more guys who can contribute on this team, and that's awesome to see for a program like Carleton County that historically has been trying to keep up with some others in this region. But this was a very positive, optimistic result, despite the loss for this team. River battling as well. 1 point game.
Absolutely. Bostwick with two big threes.
Yep.
It was tough inside. Whenever the big was out, whenever Xavier Green was out, they really tried to get Bostwick position inside and get him the ball, let him work inside. And then he ended up making a couple huge free throws to help ice it. And then they held on at the end. We had the potential for a Sports Center top 10 at the end.
I may have a nominee, and I may have you know how they used to put in the Sports Center top 10 nominee during the show.
I'm back now.
All right. Sorry, fellas. I had to check in. Well, actually, the boss had to check in with me.
There you go.
She's getting off work.
You're talking about Brooks.
17 seconds left.
Brooks Van Esselstyn. Talking about Brooks. Max
Van Esselstyn.
Max Van Esselstyn is right down the bench in the front row of the student section, right next to Bo Glenn.
I tell you what,
those playing lacrosse at
and Esselstyn.
Big bucket right there for the Cougars.
Yep.
And they cut it to one with a couple ticks left.
Unfortunately, they're going to try to get a quick foul here, and
got a foul here. And no,
they didn't call one.
No,
I don't know why. So it ended up.
It looked like intentional foul to me.
Yeah, so it ended
good.
Up
and how much time you got? 1.7
seconds.
And you got to go the length of the floor here.
They're trying for the miracle with 1.7. Chucks it deep, intercepted.
Whatever ball game, and
sort of
May River holds on.
Considering,
great effort there by the Cougs.
Yep, good game. Yes, Brooksy is
Brooks Van Esselstyn, the two sports
ginger-haired fellow who plays lacrosse at
back in the day, lacrosse and men's boys basketball. Over there.
He was fun to watch.
He was a super student as well. He was earning. He was the national scholar, merit scholar as well.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. He's awesome. He's doing well at Florida Tech, and he's coaching with the Lowco Rush Lacrosse Club this summer with Kieran McCardle and them. So,
nice.
Doing
wow.
Stuff.
How about that?
Yeah, pretty cool. So what else, boys? What else? How about some sponsors? How about our varsity sponsors? DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites. Find them at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Carleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton. And Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. So we're talking hoops mostly tonight on the Lowco Lowdown. We've got lots of scores scrolling across the bottom for you. We'll keep tracking down a few more as we go. What do you want to talk about, Wes?
Well, we mentioned it earlier, but big news on the football front with Chase Olson. I didn't really see much of Creek this year, but I'm pumped to see what you can do in Bryce Labyrinth's system. I think that's an important pickup there. Buford really in need of more at the quarterback position, and I think they could really have a gem in Olson. And if you can stay healthy with the offensive skill position guys, I think you could really have something with what's there at Buford just after was all accounts just a tough 2024 season. So a chance to reset if you're Buford, and that's a nice piece to pick up. Unfortunate for Battery Creek because he had a great run with the Dolphins, and you kind of feel when you lose a player like that. But for Buford, I expect them to be take a step forward, not a step back. But for this Eagles team, just a lot went wrong for Buford in 2024. I expect a better year upcoming in 25. But I want to see more of Olsen. I wasn't able to see much of him this past season. I'm intrigued to see how he'll do.
And it's going to be amazing, or it's going to be interesting, I should say, to see how Battery Creek handles that. Right. Because I did see Battery Creek not once but twice. I saw them against JP2 and I saw them against Buford, and they played really well at times against JP2, and against Buford they just didn't have enough. I was just very impressed with the fact that they, played the full game, played hard. They gave it everything they could, and they didn't get shut out. So that's a big key, certainly. But, Battery Creek's got a lot of ability to run the football, and we've seen it, outside certainly of Smalls at wide receiver. We see that they have those guys that can run the football out of the running back position. Maybe they throw in some wildcat packages, or if they've got somebody coming up that'll be a freshman that'll play quarterback. Obviously we'll find out later on in this 2025 year, heading into the summer and then into the fall. But I think it's going to be really interesting because Battery Creek took a lot of steps forward this year from where they were heading into last season, and I think the Creek is definitely rising.
On the rise.
It's going to be fun to see, especially if they get it right at quarterback, with the fact that Olsen decided to head to Buford. If they get it right at quarterback, they could have a really good year in their region for sure.
Yeah, it's just you either have somebody or you don't, right? Like, I mean, they're going to have to develop somebody for next year and beyond anyway, but there was no pressure to have them necessarily ready to play game one of this year, and so it's going to speed up the timeline for them to figure out what's next. Like you said, there's a decent chance if you don't have a traditional quarterback, then you run more of a read option, some kind of misdirection type
RPO, wildcat,
RPO stuff. Yeah, there's stuff you can do. Certainly, it changes their dynamic a little bit. It may suit their personnel a little bit better.
I think it would.
Sense, if they simplified the offense a little bit and stayed run heavy. When they've been good, it's usually been, with the exception, I guess, when they had Colin Drafts, they were slinging it a bit. But like when they were really good back in the day, they were known as a ground and pound type of team, So, and I think Susi, that's kind of his MO too. He's a tough, tough guy, get in the trenches guy. So I don't. It hurts him next year. It doesn't make a big difference. It probably helps him intermediate term over the next 3 years.
4 years. Yeah,
it's probably beneficial because they get to develop somebody now and let them grow into it. So, but yeah, I think it's a good situation for Chase. Obviously, Derek Smalls was his best weapon. He and Damon Freeman, like a lot of those guys were graduating together, and he was going to be kind of the last man standing with a pretty young squad. So I think it's a good situation for him at Buford. I think it's great for Buford. Obviously, I think Creek's the immediate loser in the situation, but I don't think it has to be a terrible situation for them either.
Right.
So, yeah, Susi gets to. I mean, the nice thing is they know, right? So they got the spring to figure out what they're looking at and start developing somebody. And I hope they continue to progress. The overall direction of the school is really good. Overall direction in athletics is really good. Facilities are top notch now, and weight room's phenomenal. So it's all positive, I think, as far as the overall outlook goes.
And you got to give a lot of credit, of course, in recent years, the last couple of years, to Terrence Ash, but as well as Sarah Hayes.
Sarah Hayes,
and
yeah.
I tell you what, when she left for
and
the
Chad Cox as
SCHSL,
well.
when she left for the SCHSL, I thought, oh gosh, that's a devastating loss, and still is for obvious reasons. But Terrence Ash has picked it up, right where she left off. I'm so impressed with both of those fine folks with what they're doing and what they have done to help keep Battery Creek alive, and with that program of sports just doing what they've done to make it the great program it is. I even called a couple of games of Sarah's when she was still coaching, and I tell you what, she can coach, and she was terrific. Getting to know her and getting to know Terrence the way I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years, it's been fun, and the creek is definitely rising. Excited to see what happens in basketball season for the girls and the guys, and then certainly come football season with Ed Susie and crew getting ready to get on the gridiron.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's been a good direction for Terrence Ash, what he's done, that program, and Susie's done a remarkable job up to this point for how he has shaped this program, and I think the stock is up right now for Creek in the future. I think there's a lot of positive signs for what we're going to see from this Battery Creek program, and the fight has really grown throughout the last couple of years or so, especially last year. I felt like they were in a lot more games. They, I think making the playoffs in that division is really important, and being able to do that puts you in the right direction. And now can you pick up that extra 1-2 wins, even maybe win a playoff game down the road? And there are guys who are really starting to buy and perform for that team, and that's what's all about in those types of those schools and those areas. So I feel like Creek is really close to doing something. You wish you could have kept a guy like a Olsen, but you have others that are ready to take control and really get into this in this program and make a good impression. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this Creek team and what is possible in these next few years. And I love the way they play. They have that gritty style to them. They're gonna run the football, as you said, and just try to grind you down. And if they can take care of the football and play good fundamental style of game, they're gonna make some noise. It's a tough, obviously it's a tough region, especially when you're in an ocean. You're playing the Oceanside.
Yeah. It's not as tough for football as it is for basketball, though.
No doubt. But hand, that's still a good team. There's still some quality football teams in that region. There's no easy. North Charleston they've been able to beat, but it's never a cakewalk.
No, definitely not. Hand's tough. Oceanside's tough. Who am I missing? Who else is in there? North Charleston and OW.
Charleston, OW.
Yeah. They were pretty good this year. They were a little better than they usually are. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see them moving up too much more in that region right now, without Olsen coming back. But I don't know. I don't know what they got coming up from the JV, and from middle school and all that stuff. There's a lot of moving
parts.
But yeah, RPO Speedwagon. That's what I'll call my offense.
That's awesome, Kevin. My man. The Lipster.
Oh, man.
I did find a couple other scores that I added to the ticker. Let's see. Hampton Boys 54-43 over Edisto. Hampton Bridges We saw that at the Bobcat Classic, but we'll get to see that again very soon, a couple times for region. Hampton Whale Branch, another Whale Branch Bridges. Those are all going to be fun. That's going to be a good little scrap. Which other ones did I fill in here? Thought I filled in. I guess that was really it. We said the cross scores earlier. Cross rolling Holy Trinity tonight. Double dubs for Duck.
Nice.
Working the double shift. So yeah, that's most of it. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we got USCB on the road at Lander, 5:30 and 7:30. We got Heathwood Hall at Hilton Head Christian, and that's girls and boys. Bethesda Academy boys at Hilton Head Prep.
It's just boys.
There's only boys for that one. And then lots of wrestling. Bluffton and Colleton and Bishop England. That's region matches. Benedictine and John Paul II at Bridges Prep. Our friend Hulk Hagen, Alex Hagen, coach at Bridges Prep, he is an alum of Benedictine, so he'll be going up against his alma mater, and I think his former head coach is still the coach. And then Buford at Hilton Head, another region duel, and Whale Branch and Woodland are at Battery Creek. So a lot of wrestling tomorrow night.
Cool.
Speaking of wrestling,
it's starting to get up on the mat. This is when the duels really start to get going, which is a ton of fun. Your region matches and some competitive duels between some of these squads around here. So that should be a ton of fun. I might check out that Bethesda Hilton Head Prep game. Those games are always really competitive between those two schools. It seems like they always go down to the wire. Prep's got them the last couple of times.
I think Prep is going to handle them pretty easily.
This one's going to be a lot much more lopsided. Maybe just Prep's gotten better. Prep, because these two teams seems like they've always had Donnybrooks, but
but like Battery Creek handled Bethesda pretty easy.
Bethesda might be down this year is what we're thinking.
I don't think Bethesda is quite as good as they have been at times, maybe not consistently, but at times. And Prep's just real good. I don't think
Prep they just go about their business. I mean, methodical.
They might only beat them by like 14, but it'll feel like it's 30 the whole game. Like they'll just be so in control. Big games, big games at Landa. Hope we can land another couple wins tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Landa. Gotta love it.
Yes.
Those are big games. Real big games.
Yeah.
Women are real good.
Maybe I'll kick up the laptop and watch the USCB streams of
well, if you have a smart TV, you can download the
Peach Belt Network,
Peach Belt Sports app. And,
the gold standard is the Sandshirk Gaming Network. This Peach Belt Network. I mean, the Sandshirk Gaming Network is on the Peach Belt Network, but nobody does it as good as my man Justin Jarrett and his partner. Well, many partners, but especially Libby. Kevin Libby. What a debut!
What a
women's game.
Phenomenal debut.
He is a legendary wingman. I get it now, Marcus. I understand it now. I understand it.
Yeah, and it doesn't take anybody long. I mean, I've said this numerous times, but I've been working with Kevin Libby, I will say, pretty consecutively, and in how we do what we do for the better part of the last 10 years. It was the same situation with Daniel Court. I was talking with Wayne Morris, and he said, in the case of Kevin, he said, if you want to get this shoot at the Hilton Head All-American Football Camp where I got to meet Braxton Miller, he said, I got a guy for you, Kevin Libby. That's how Kevin and I met. And, we did football and a bunch of stuff.
You know how I met Kevin Libby?
Got into the podcast.
His time back at the Buford News when he was doing the Buford News every week.
You want to know how I met
him as well? I was a guest and he was the host, and hit it off.
You know how I met Kevin Libby? It's when Marcus and Kevin were screaming inside the booth during the World Series this
That's an appropriate meeting. I think Kevin Libby has a question that we can probably all answer, but maybe not.
The best player in the Local. I think we mentioned this earlier. We had a debate earlier on this. Harpring the best player? I said
We
yeah.
did, and at the time, I think it was pretty clear that he was.
Although I think there's some others making the case.
Guys.
I can
Yeah,
make a case for a couple.
I think Harry
you could pick
Skinner's
one
got
player to build
good
your
case.
team around, it's probably still Harpring, but yeah, there are others that you could definitely make a strong case for at this point, from what I've seen around the Loco.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit biased based off what I just saw tonight, but I would even say that there are a couple of guys for JP2 on the guys' team that you could throw into the mix there. With Daniel Godson. I mean, even Garrett Heathcott with a huge night. I mean, there are a bunch of great players everywhere. Is he the best? Arguably, yes. But we talked about this before the Bobcat Classic and some of those other classic matchups with these tournaments during the holidays. You get to see more teams. You get to see more players. Obviously, it's a very fluid situation. I would say if we were to pick as of now an all Loco team for the guys, I would say he would probably be on mine.
Yeah,
in
I
terms
think
of what he can do.
I mean, the best is kind of a subjective term. Like I think he's certainly the most polished. Like I don't think there's any question about that. I think he is the most polished. He's the most fundamentally sound basketball player in the area. He's probably also the best next level prospect, I think, because of that. But then, I mean, as far as high school basketball players go, like Harrison Skinner is a really freaking good one.
And he's just a great game manager, and he's become such a great competitor and winner out there. And he just, his authority to just go to the rim. I mean, it just feels like he's been more assertive than he has been when he was at Hilton Christian Academy. He's taken over like a big time role here, and much deservedly the MVP of the Bobcat Classic when they beat Hilton Head Prep. But I really love how, I mean, Skinner looks like the guy more so. I mean, they've got the big ticket, guys who can throw it down, and I hope we can get the video. If not, we'll have to show it tomorrow night. But Carnell Warren, a highlight reel jam. Brandon had a couple as well, or at least one, but just it's fun to have those guys, and they'll lob it up. They'll lob it up all day, especially when they have a lead.
Yep.
When they have a lead, they play a little more loose, and they love to try some cool things. And we saw a lot of Dunktown tonight. A lot more Dunktown.
If you want to talk about building a team around a player, obviously Harpring's a great person to choose, but I feel like Harrison Skinner has become a player to be.
That was my second. That would have been my second pick. Behind,
and then if you're like, who's just a bucket? Like, I mean, like Darius Brooks at Hampton's a freaking bucket. He's
if
you want to talk about bigs, you got to get Omarion in the conversation.
Absolutely. He's probably the best big that I've seen in a couple of years.
He's up there.
If I'm being honest.
Pringle.
If Teal would have stuck around, if Melvin Teal would have stuck around.
Melvin, but he's more of a guard. Like, even though he's a monster, he's more of a guard or a wing. He was a point guard when he was a monster 8th grader.
That's crazy.
You want an electric player? How about Brandon White from Bluffton?
Yes,
Brandon White.
No doubt.
Carnell Warren's also a choice as a big man. He's I mean, he may not be the biggest dude, but he can. He's a big dude who can move around the court really well. Like if you want someone like that to make your offense a little more electric, like Carnell Warren, Brandon White, they're all both of those dudes are dudes you could add to a team and make it something special.
Yeah, White's just that, like, he's like a 6th man of the year type guy. Like, I'm not saying I don't think he comes off the bench, but he's that guy that just like makes 3 or 4 plays a game that are worth like multiple possessions because of the hype that they build.
The momentum's a real thing.
I also think as this season's gone on, he's really polished his skills.
He's starting to they're starting to rein it in a little bit. They're starting to really, really take it to heart.
Well,
and Gabriel's doing a good job of letting them play and have fun, not stifling them, but also molding them as they go.
Well, I'll put this out there because we mentioned it in our group chat earlier. with this win, they have now won 11 games in a row. They have not lost a game since that game to Prep.
Right.
So they have now won 11 games in a row. Out of those 11 games, 2 tournaments within those 11 games.
They're rolling.
And they're looking like what they are in our LowcoSports rankings as the #1 team in this area. Yeah. And there's no doubt there in my mind. And I really like how they're playing. I'm intrigued to see how the rest of the region play goes. Obviously, May River will be a team that could give them a bit of a challenge.
Yes.
I'm intrigued to see what Bishop England looks like when those 2 teams face off, because we always know Bishop England brings in strong basketball teams, both on the men's and women's side. So I'm excited for that game when it comes around between Bishop England and Bluffton, because I think it's going to be really fun to watch. But this team is looking very strong. And I said the other night, contenders for lower states. Absolutely. Like this is how good of a team they are. And they're really putting it together right now. Like they look more of a polished team than me and Wes saw when they were at Hillmed Prep a few weeks back.
Right.
And I think they realized after that Prep game that they need to get their act together. They know they're a better team than this, and they definitely have.
And looking forward to seeing them again against Colleton County come Saturday, both the guys and the girls. And I haven't seen the girls yet, so I know they're down a little bit, but I'm still looking forward to seeing them and what Coach Coddington has to offer with the girls there at Bluffton High. Looking forward to seeing her in her first season. Certainly, I'll be calling them as well in the WHHI schedule.
I'm intrigued to see what Colleton County looks like against Bluffton. Like if they can give Bluffton
state champ caliber team. Just
I think Bluffton throws a lot more at you. If their offense can. That's the worry. Can Colleton keep up? We mentioned about how they have to really have to execute.
That's right.
Yeah. I feel like Bluffton. Really, it's them. Bishop England. I think Hilton Head Bluffton could be semi-interesting, but I'm still not sold on. Maybe the Hilton Head can compete in this game. I feel like they always play a strong brand of defense, and if they can lock down the problem is it's so hard to lock down Bluffton because there are so many guys that they can throw at you, and it can be difficult to defend. But I like the way Hilton has played collectively. They've hung tough against some quality teams. They played Bishop England tough. They lost by they lost by 10.
Let me give him that, brother.
Yeah. That's what we love about this region. And
Wes, I'm going to agree with you. Like, I think Hilton Head's had a good season so far, and I really like how they're playing as well. I think they could give Bluffton a couple issues in the first half, but the problem, I think, is Bluffton as a whole, I think, is unfortunately a little bit stronger than Hilton Head as of this moment. I know Hilton Head's been playing well, but I think when that second half comes in, I think Bluffton just will take over. But I do like how Hilton Head's been playing as of late, and they've been playing some good basketball.
I think Bluffton's the best team in the region. I think they're the favorite to win it. But I think they'll also probably drop a couple. There'll be a couple nights where the threes aren't falling and somebody gets them.
And I think
you can lose. I think you can lose 2 or 3 and still win this region because I think people are going to beat each other. They're going to split. A lot of people
are going to beat each other up. It's like the NFC or AFC North.
Yeah, you're not going to have to win them all to win the region.
Right.
So, but to answer the question of whether they're a state champion contender, this is the reality. Like right now, they're ranked 8th.
Yeah,
taking into account everything they've done, and you got North Augusta, Crestwood, Gray, and Wilson ahead of them, and those are all legitimate programs. Like not fly-by-night situations. So it's going to be a tough road. They're going to have to go through one of those in like round 2, most likely, or round 3. So and then the rest of them.
Well, I will say this: we're a long ways from there.
Long way.
A lot of season to go, but and that gives Bluffton time to get their craft even better than it is right now. So I'm intrigued to see what they'll look like when playoffs come around.
They
I mean,
they are talented enough to match up with about anybody.
I totally agree. They kind of remind me of that Hilton team a couple years back. I think they're a little bit different than that Seahawks team, but I feel like they have a terrific point guard. They have terrific, leader in Harry Skinner. They have the playmakers that you need, high octane guys, and then the defense has really shown out, especially recently. They held Buford to 8 points and a half. That's you go anyone 8 points and a half, you're doing something right. So that's very encouraging. And he got the role players like a Jamari Stewart Manning. Hey, if he heats up at the right time, it's hard to stop you. It's hard to stop you. And that guy's like the X factor who can really find a way to put you over the top. And there's others as well that we've talked about. So they may not be as deep as Hilton Head was, or in terms of overall, but the high end guys on this team are playing as well as anybody right now, potentially in the state. So it could be a fun ride these next few weeks with Bluffton, and the Bishop England games are going to be fun. The Hilton Head games are going to be fun. Even Colleton could be interesting.
It could be interesting.
100%. They're good enough to beat anybody any given night.
I was gonna say we, as you were scrolling down, I love seeing Hampton County sitting in the top 10 for 2A boys.
Yeah,
and deserve it. They deserve it. Absolutely, 100% deserve it.
They're playing well. Josh James has done a heck of a job taking over that program. They lost a good bit, and he's done a good job.
With that, I wonder with Bridges Prep, is that too high of a spot for them?
Yeah, they're getting a lot of respect. It's a little high for me right now. I think I would agree. I'd probably not have them in the top 10 or right at the bottom of the top 10. I'd have Hampton a little ahead of them. Hampton beat them head to head in the tournament.
Right. I'm just saying, like, if I'm putting that ranking together, if Hampton and Bridges are both in the top 10, I'm putting Hampton over Bridges.
Yeah, and they really haven't. They do it class by class, and they have like a rankings committee. It's coaches who do it for each classification, and sometimes they just put no change. Like I don't know if they weren't able to coordinate a poll that week, or if they just didn't feel like they needed to make a change. I'm not exactly sure how they compile those, if it's a collaborative effort or a turn in your ballot situation or what, but it is what it is. Ultimately, the day the playoffs start, none of it matters. Like, we're going to figure out who the champion is. Doesn't matter who was ranked where. But it's something to give us a gauge and to kind of know what is a good win and what, is a bad loss and those kinds of things, I guess. We got RPI now too, which we haven't even started really digging into yet, but that'll be fun to play with later in the year.
Right. That makes a big difference, especially when you go down the stretch. RPI, it's the top how many got automatically, and then you get the RPI.
I don't know, bro.
The brackets haven't been released yet, so we're not particularly sure. I keep checking and seeing when the high school league has released the basketball brackets, but last time I checked, they haven't done it already. So we'll have to just keep our eyes out.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's got it, but it's not me.
He's got a lot, but he doesn't have the brackets.
Not yet, at least.
I'm sure they may even be out there somewhere.
They're not on the high school league website.
I just mean about how many teams make it and all that.
They should be soon, but we'll see.
I don't know. Yeah, but we do have girls and boys basketball RPI now, so that's fun.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's fun. We'll play with that another night because it's getting late. We got our Loco Booster Club. They support us, so support them. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court. They're with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel. Go see Bill and Mandy out on Argent Boulevard and see what they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need a haircut, get on downtown and get your hair cut. Get your ears lowered. Don't use Clipper Guard #1 unless you want to look bored or bald. Barefoot Foot Care of the Low Country. Check in on us. Floor so clean, your feet will thank you. Hudson Seafood House on the docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episode tomorrow night at 7:30. And also a great place for cocktails, sunsets, seafood, shrimp po' boys, Andrew style. And then if you're hungry or thirsty and you're out near Hampton, stop into Hurricane Sports Cafe and get you something to eat or drink and say hi for us. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Yeah,
How are you?
She's happy to be home.
Yes.
The boss.
I can tell.
That's
She's the boss.
The boss.
She may tell you different,
Yes.
but no, she's the boss.
We know who the boss is. Parting thoughts, gents?
I have a couple. In the world of college basketball, I was going through a couple of things on ESPN. And I saw that Cooper Flag of Duke, and by the way, I'm a huge Duke fan. Cooper Flag of Duke with a thunderous, and I mean thunderous dunk that left Dave O'Brien practically speechless as he was doing play-by-play of that game. I'm assuming he was doing it with Corey Alexander. Just a huge dunk against Pittsburgh. I'm looking forward to catching more college basketball as well and seeing how everything, shakes out now that we're officially into 2025. It's always a great time of year. And to just think about it, we're a couple of months away from March Madness. Not to wish it here right now.
Once you get to January, you're starting to get close.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's gonna feel weird going back to what we talked about a couple of weeks ago with the passing of Greg Gumbel. It's gonna feel weird to not hear him do his magic in studio there in New York with CBS. But with the fact that they've got Adam Zucker and Ernie Johnson and everybody, they'll definitely pick up the slack and be great for a tribute for Greg. And then the other thing, in addition,
Cooper Flag,
announcers,
he's out 2 weeks due to a family trip to Hilton Head. Just kidding. It's from the Onion.
How about that?
It's from the Onion. It's from the
There
Onion.
you go. Good old onions. Onions.
Yes.
But Dick Vitale is hoping to make a return this season to college broadcasting.
Awesome, baby.
Hopefully he can get those vocal cords strengthened up and he can get back to it.
He's gonna
take got an appointment in the morning in Boston with Dr. Zeitels. Hopefully we get Dickie V back on the mic. I've been a Dickie V fan for 30 years.
Yeah,
love the guy.
He's the voice of college basketball. Nothing better than.
No doubt about it. America's finest news source, the Onion. Yeah, Kevin's right about that.
And now
I have an interesting parting thought. Obviously, it's cold, so it's hard to there's not many I mean, here you can, but not many places to consistently play golf because it's so cold. So Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy have been the creators of this indoor golf league called the Tomorrow's Golf League, and apparently tonight was the opening night of this venture, and it's this indoor simulator golf league, and there's 6 teams. There's 4 golfers on each team. And it's from January to March. They're trying to fill that void of when it's so cold, and it's much more modernized, and there's a shot clock. There's just a lot of weird, interesting, and fun formats to it, and it's all like simulator based.
Right.
And so
I think it sounds dumb, so it's probably going to be real popular.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how it does, and if it'll be something that sticks and sustains itself. But I feel like that's a kind of a fun spin-off thing compared to your normal golf.
I'm not that into it, but then again, like today's like the younger generation watches other people play video games online.
Can I just say to add on to that, if you didn't see the bunkers that they're using for this, the sand is from Augusta, believe it or not.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, there's sand involved in virtual golf?
They actually have real bunkers they're using for this.
Oh, wow.
Like if you hit it in the bunker, you got to hit your shot out of the bunker?
You got to hit the shot out of the bunker. And they're using sand from Augusta National, believe it or not. How cool that sounds amazing. I'm like,
wow.
Cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely more akin to the younger people who grow up with the video games and all that. And
you just wonder, like, how can there be an audience for all of this stuff? Like, like this and like, I don't know. There's just so much stuff out there now.
Hey man, I bet you we get views. We get some views if we all just played together in a NBA 2K game.
Like pickleball, like pickleball. Like, it's a great game for people to go play for their fitness and their mental health and all that. But like, it's like people are gonna watch it on TV. I have a hard time believing that.
That's what I say. I'm not sure how long something like this would stick, just because of, it's a time of year where people just don't watch golf as much. If especially the diehards, it'll appeal to some people, but I just feel like I'm not sure, like, something like that could actually stick long term. We'll see what happens, but hey, at least props to being innovative and taking a shot on something like that. And maybe I'll tune in once and see how it is. But
how can there be an audience for all this stuff? Says man who talks on internet for an hour and a half every night with this.
Yeah, right. Seriously,
there's a niche audience for everything. You just gotta have to innovate and find that audience. And
I have a slight comparison. Just hearing you talk about this, Wes, and getting more information on it. I am not at all trying to, disparage what has been going on in the great city of Savannah, especially because of the fact that I interviewed Jesse Cole.
Right.
But it kind of reminds me, and again, the Savannah Bananas have
like
been
the golf version of the Bananas.
Amazing.
Right. Yeah.
But this kind of reminds me of the golfing version of what is the Savannah Bananas.
You try to modernize and cater to.
You take a game that has been around for so long, and you try to modernize it in a new, creative, fun way, especially for the younger viewers.
Right.
The Savannah Bananas have taken off,
especially because
and have done a great job.
Golf, and it's
just
the nature of golf is that you hit a shot, you walk X amount of meters, and you hit another shot,
get into the cart.
Right.
To paraphrase Robin Williams,
like you're going boom, boom, boom. Like, it's the simulator. You're going back to back to back to back, and so it's a shorter time. It's a shorter time window where you can like compete in an event. Like, it doesn't have to take a 4-hour round of golf because like it's a simulator, so you don't have to worry about walking it. So many.
I wish they had done this with NES Open Championship on the original Nintendo, because I would have been a pro golfer. I was so good at that game.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I don't think it'll be for me, but I also don't like tune in to the PGA Tour every week either. So I'm not I am definitely not the target audience. So I don't think they're concerned about whether I'm interested or not.
Man, I would eat that up if this came out when I was like 7 or 8. But I don't know as much as be into it now. But hey,
I would have been trying to go pro in it if I was 7 or 8 for sure.
Yeah,
like everything else. I'm ready to be pro and whatever. Yeah. You're gonna go boom, 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 boom. Bang, bang,
boom,
bang,
boom, 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 bang, bang, bang,
bang. All right, boys. Getting a little loose. Any other parting thoughts?
I did see Antonio Pierce was fired by the Las Vegas Raiders today. So they will be looking for a new head coach.
Congratulations, Antonio. You're free.
Yeah, you're free from the crap that is known as the Las Vegas Raiders. What was the other thing? Former defensive tackle for Hilton and Christian Academy, Jack Conrad. I saw on his Instagram that he just dealt with a surgery. I don't know what the surgery was on, but
he was all hooked up.
I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out what happened. But he had surgery. He is doing good, so a good sign. Great to see Jack Conrad, and I hear he had some playing time over at Lenoir-Rhyne this year as a defensive tackle for the Big Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne. So
very cool.
Dirty Harry, yes, is a dog.
Absolutely.
He is a dog. What was the other thing? There was something else. I can't remember. I know Doug Peterson also got fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday.
Yeah, you can see that one coming.
Yeah.
I saw that easily.
Maybe this was something that you already mentioned. Justin Verlander going to
yes. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Justin Verlander signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco Giants for his 20th season in Major League Baseball. 20 years. Wow. Can you believe that? 20 years of Justin Verlander.
I remember when he was pitching against Cleveland in his rookie year.
Yep, back when the Tigers, he was with the Tigers.
Yeah,
yep.
Also, I did see. Obviously, we mentioned the North Dakota State Bison won the national championship. Guess where they start off their 2025 season? Just up the road in Charleston at the Citadel is where they're going to have the season opener. How great is that? I might have to go.
Wow.
See if I can get tickets because I'm sure they're going to sell out.
We have some guys there at the Citadel.
Yeah, we got a few guys there.
We do.
Sure do.
So big way to start out the 2025 football season is seeing our Bulldogs.
Big opportunity for the Bulldogs.
It is very big opportunity for the Bulldogs. I'm intrigued.
Anytime you get to play the defending natty champs.
Yeah.
Man, so that game was wild. That game ended on a punt.
It did end on a punt. Wow. How weird. That ball just kept rolling at the end.
They let it just keep rolling, and then down to 0 seconds left.
I don't understand how that. Yeah.
Anyway. It looked like it was pretty windy. It looked like maybe it would have been dangerous to try to catch it. But
I did watch that some of that game. I decided to record it just because
I just saw that it ended on a punt and watched that clip and was like, well, that's wild. You don't see many games end on a punt.
I do like watching the FCS games because, of course, I was at a former FCS school. Yeah. Formerly at an FCS school. Still an FCS school, even though they stink at football. But, hey.
They sure do.
And they stink at pretty much every other sport. I don't understand it. But, hey, eventually they'll get there one day. Right. They are building a new basketball arena, so I'm excited about that. So, anyway, that's it for me.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to close on to add to all of that. I'm too tired. I'm too tired for closing thoughts. But I guess I will close by saying, just again, thanks to Ray and Andrea, for extending the invitation to all of us and letting us know about the proceedings today, because definitely was grateful to be a part of that and get to see everybody. And, it definitely brought home how small of a world it is, because, I walk in and there's other friends from other circles there, that were also friends of the family. And, Max, you and I got to hear stories from New York of another friend of us, of ours, of mine, EJ Seaman. All his kids' names, EJ Seaman, Dylan Seaman, and now Ryan Seaman, who all have wrestled at May River, and Dylan also baseball. Ryan plays lacrosse. Their dad, EJ, coaches wrestling at River Ridge, high school classmate of Tim's uncle. So we heard all about their relationship and talked about their kids, and we heard all about wrestling in New York. And Tim's grandma was just absolutely delightful, just the sweetest. They forced Max and I both to go home with sandwiches and chicken wings.
Sitting in my fridge right now, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, I brought mine in and bagged them up. I'll be taking them sandwiches with me to school tomorrow.
Yes, I will say
subs.
I will say we had said to Tim's parents, knowing they're as big into sports as Tim is, along with the rest of Tim's family, we said, hey, you guys ever want to come on and talk sports with us? Absolutely, 100% hop on.
They're in.
Let me tell you, they know sports. They know sports just as well as Tim does. I'm not joking.
Yeah, Andrea actually played D1 lacrosse or field hockey, and Ray played baseball. We met Tim's cousin, who's the same age as him, who was a Fogo lacrosse player. He was a face-off guy, which those are the biggest psychos of all the lacrosse players. And
yes,
he was cool. So yeah, it's sports runs deep in their family, and And they said they're in. So we'll definitely be getting Emmy on here. She says she won't be as good as Tim, but I told her she's.
We said
we'll be every bit as good.
She'll be good.
The ropes, Emmy. Don't worry. We'll teach.
She may not be able to write as well as him, but she'll be every bit as good on camera. I assure you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. You hate when it's something tragic like this that brings us together and allows us to interact with people on a deeper level and build a deeper relationship. But sometimes those are the silver linings that come from tragedy. Is the bonds that are built. And the strength that comes from that. So super grateful to have new people in my life and who have a shared purpose with me and see what we can do together, just like you guys. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for being outstanding wingmen and part of the foundation here. We appreciate you and great show tonight. We'll get back together. Shall we do it tomorrow night or shall we take a night off?
We got a lot to talk about. USC.
Oh yeah, we got USC. Yeah,
we also need to see the clips from the beatdown from Bluffton tonight.
Yes, we do.
Maybe we can
may have to try to send those through the normal way, Wes. They weren't coming through.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we'll get started a little bit earlier tomorrow night and pick up the USCB men's game in progress and pull it in and watch the end of that together and take it through. See what happens. So
absolutely,
we'll be out here. You be on here. We'll hit you up tomorrow night with another edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm, our All-Stars, and thanks to all of you who show up to listen or watch. We love you, Timmy. We love you, Alonzo's, and we'll see you real soon. For Wes Kerr, Max Araj, and Marcus Walsh, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco. The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!